That is not good. That is too bright. That is too bright. I mean, it's kind of okay. I think if I go like that, get my chair turned just so. Swiss Army knife. Somebody had a campfire last night. Somebody, hey, I'm going to stick with the hypnosis niche. You are getting very sleepy. Good morning, RJ. Good morning, Not Original. I just posted a silly little video of me saying I'm going to switch my niche from bald man talking to hypnosis. And the reason is I follow a couple hypnotists, and they help me sleep at night. I'm feeling great, RJ. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. Good morning, Daniel O. Not Original. Giuseppe. Giuseppe's a fun name. Giuseppe. That's all I have to say about that. Hello, Everlasting Bloom. Kathy Middleton. And RJ wants to ride scooters this week. RJ, what? Oh, you have a bike. Sorry, I got to get my stuff set up. It is Sunday, Jimmy. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Sorry, I'm still getting set up. Good morning, Everlasting Bloom. Happy Sunday. I was up early today. I was up early today. Mine doesn't go only 30 miles an hour, RJ. I can't even get mine that slow. It stalls at 30 miles an hour. Good morning, Danny White. Good morning, Horseshoe, John McGrath, Rowe. Chiefs versus Bears today. I'm not going to be watching it. I haven't watched the first two games. I heard the Bears laid an egg in the first two games of the season. Wow, we got 220 people hopping on. I should be doing something super exciting to keep the audience interested. Unfortunately, I have no skill set, no ability to keep the audience interested. And hello from Texas. But go Chiefs. Yeah, I don't even overly care. I mean, I'd like the Bears to win, of course, but I don't watch a whole heck of a lot of football these days. When I say a whole heck, I mean I really don't watch any. I will hypnotize them. What's on Ken's agenda 9 years ago for 9 something for a game day? Good morning, Linda from Ohio. Everyone got a favorite football team? Is everybody going to be watching football today? I think I could do better. Oh, yeah, that's better. So that's a quick improvement. I was going, it's okay. It's okay, but I can do better. Hold on, I'm not totally leaving you. I'm just going to switch a little bit, make sure. I was scolded about the pants I was wearing as I was heading out. They're a little thin material. They can be quite revealing, if you know what I mean. It's what you do on Sundays this time of year. Yes, Linda's cheering for the Bears. Thank you so much, Everlasting Bloom, for sending me a wide-eye worsty. Norma Strain, thank you for following the host. Good morning, Jordan Thomas. How was Cub Scouts? RJ, that's today. But anyway, good morning to you. Hey, Peter Francis Geraci, thank you for my it goes so quick. And I so appreciate you sending me those gifts. I actually realized recently, I mean, I've known for a little while, but they actually cost you guys money. And I joke about them a lot because I look so funny with a mustache or a hat or a armor or I don't know what else. Or an everlasting worsty or whatever they're sending. A finger heart, cat paws. But I so appreciate that. I really do. But I like to make fun because I don't think I look so great on a mustache. And it seems the cowboy hat with a mustache is popular. And I don't know, week and a half ago, I was holding my little babies. I have two little beautiful babies, Augie and Eve. One's 2.5-year-old boy, and the other's just about a year-old girl. And by the way, we're just started planning her 1-year birthday party. I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm that excited, but I'll be fairly excited. I'm more of a late game planner. I'm ready to go. I don't like thinking that far ahead, but I'm sure ready to rock and roll when it's the day of the party. Good morning, Cindy Strickland. And is it 92 days until Christmas? You both met my husband at Mariano's yesterday. Shrink Wrap, is that you? Is that you, Shrink Wrap? So you watch my show. Bob, okay. Can you look? You are like Mr. Rogers of TikTok. I appreciate that. When he sent me a phone, okay, well, I'll tell you what, Shrink Wrap, that's going to make Anne-Marie feel so much better. I appreciate that. We had a guy I knew from real estate, a guy I used to work with. I didn't know that well, but I knew a little bit. We worked in the same real estate office. Come up and take a picture of my wife and I at the grocery store. And my wife is, I don't know, higher maintenance than me. I don't know how else to say it. Probably didn't have her hair just so and her makeup just so. And she thought somebody was going to be posting it all over social media. But it's Shrink Wrap's husband. That makes me feel so much better. Appreciate all your videos. Hope you have a good day. Well, thank you so much. My hair was just perfect. I looked awesome. I wasn't very concerned about how I appeared. Hello, Io. But anyway, good morning to you. Again, my name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Sunday morning. I don't know, the 27th? No, what is it? It can't be September 27th. 8th, 11th, 18th, 25th, 24th? I don't even know. I don't know what day it is. But I guess I won't worry. Wait, do I have it on my watch? It says 24th on my watch, but again, since the months aren't consistent, because somebody decided to put 28 days in a month, and somebody decided to put 31, and somebody decided to put 30, and every once in a while there's a month with 29. My poor little watch is going, help, help, help. Get me some satellite connection. How am I supposed to keep track of the date? I'm manual. But what was I saying? I was doing my intro. Where was I? This is a show I've been doing for a long time. It is almost Kentober, Greg. I was at Mariano's yesterday too, but I don't take photos of random people. Well, it wasn't totally random. Leap year should be a worldwide holiday. Hello, Whirling Dervish. But anyway, again, it's a show I've been doing a long, long time, and a show that I feel good about. It's like therapy for me, and I kind of talk about life and the ups and downs and stuff, and how I'm feeling, because I know it's very important to you guys to know just how I'm feeling. By the way, it takes a certain degree of something to post the videos I do. Because the videos I do, granted, some I think are beautiful, and some are emotional, and some touch me, and I watch some of my videos, and I'll go, wow, that makes me cry. That makes me cry. And somebody's pulling in our driveway. I wonder who just pulled in my driveway. Hello! Maybe I can have that interview you guys are all craving for. Hello, person in the white SUV. My name's Ken Tracy, and I do a morning talk show on TikTok. Will you like to come over and talk to me live? But anyway, I enjoy this. And again, I post a lot of videos, and some of them, I'll admit, are downright stupid. But they're so stupid and they're so silly that I can't help but chuckle at myself. And I think it's important we learn to laugh at ourselves and be silly and be us and be who we are. And I think I was kind of born this way. I was born this way. And so it's good to just let my hair down and be myself and get to do it every morning with you guys, and that you guys care enough to watch. So thank you for joining. But anyway, Lady Gaga song reminds me of Sesame Street. We were just, does anyone have little ones out there? Does anyone have little ones out there? Does anyone have little ones out there? We have a couple little ones. So we watch a lot of Sesame Street at our house. Who wears gray sweatpants? I do. You shouldn't have to ask that. I do. We're somewhat neighbors. Oh, Aren't you a grandfather? Not yet. Not yet. My oldest is, I haven't gotten to the second point of the show. Happy Sunday, Kels. Where was I? Lady Baba. Do I want to talk about Lady Baba? Not necessarily. There's not much story there. There's not much story behind Lady Baba. Outside of, I watch a lot of Sesame Street, and this morning there's a Sesame Street where Elmo's trying to learn how to play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and he can't play it. He keeps screwing up the last note, and he goes, I'm not going to play it anymore. And then a star falls out of the sky and lands next to Elmo's piano, and it happens to be the star, Twinkle, Twinkle, which the song is written about. And again, really long story with no point. That's kind of the point of the show. But how about I just end it there and get to what the show's also about? What this show's also about. For those that have been watching a while, I hope you guys weren't sitting on the edge of your seat wondering what Lady Baba had to do with Elmo and Twinkle Twinkle. If you do, Google it. It's on YouTube. For those that have been watching a while, this is my favorite part of the show. You know, it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I'm so excited to take my first sip. Hello, Julie Flanagan. You got to be patient. Good morning, Heather Odell. I'm excited to have my first sip. And I hope wherever you are and whatever you're doing, thank you, Shrink Wrap, for the rose. Hello, Sandy Shepherd, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. I think I might have overtipped the cup. And it kind of sloshed up on my lip. It startled me. It kind of burned my little lip. I wonder what flavor it is. Let's find out what flavor it is. 3 Chains wants to know coffee or Heineken. I don't know exactly what that question means. I don't drink Heineken anymore. In my heyday, I used to drink every day. I probably averaged 8 beers a day for the last 20 years until 2 years ago. And it could be 6, it could be 10. Some days I'm sure it was 15. Some days, rarely was it 4. But I'm sure I averaged, I would guess, 6, 7, 8 beers a day. And I don't know what that means. That means I had a very bad habit. Means I had a very bad drinking habit. But I was able to stop 2 years ago because I really wanted to. And I said, this is stupid, and let's just see what I can do with my life. Thank you, Jordan. What I can do with my life without alcohol or pot involved. So I stopped drinking a couple of years ago. But if you would have asked me this 2 or 3 years ago, coffee or Heineken, I would have been hard-pressed. I would have been hard-pressed to make that choice. And I guess I have no desire to give up coffee. And without any desire to do it, I don't see any reason to do it. Hey, thank you, Angeli. 4 glasses of sangria a week. If you can drink 4 glasses of sangria a week, more power to you. 4 times a week, having a drink or two is probably not a problem. But for me, I'm a aholic. I'm an aholic. Coffee-aholic. Exercise-aholic. Go to church-aholic. I'm some other naughtier things I'm an aholic of, but I won't share the intimate details of what goes on behind closed doors. But anyway, I do anything to excess a lot. And if you're doing things that aren't healthy for you and you do them to excess, you can get in some trouble. And that's what happened to me in terms of alcohol and pot. I go, hey, this Heineken tastes good. Why don't I have another? And then all of a sudden it was 7 hours later, and I'd be asking my wife to go pick up another 12-pack at Walgreens. If she's, hey, honey, are you going out to the store for any reason? Maybe we need new diapers. Hey, honey, I think we're... I could never tell her I was out of Heineken. I'd go out and take the box of diapers we purchased yesterday and throw them in the garbage and say, hey, honey, I think we're out of diapers. One of us has to go to the store for the diapers. Oh, you're going, hey, while you're there, do you mind picking me up another 12-pack of Heineken? That was my strategy. Hi, Sandy Shepard. I appreciate the smiles. No milk in my coffee. No, if I was going to put anything, I certainly wouldn't put milk. I would put half and half. And I drink my coffee black at home for a bunch of 3 different reasons. Do you want to hear what the reasons are again? I said it like 20 times. Every week or so, somebody wants to know why I don't put cream, but I do put cream on the road. Okay, Not Original wants to know. Well, there's probably 3 reasons. I think the first and biggest reason is I like to drink coffee, and I drink a lot of it, and every once in a while, you're running a risk. Every day as a coffee drinker, you might be out of coffee, but you're probably, if you're a real coffee drinker, you're going to have some awareness about the inventory of coffee in your home. And I don't think you should ever be on your last bag. I prefer to have 5 varieties at home all the time. Am I going to do another Kennathon? Perhaps I will, Greg. I'm sure that I will. For those that are wondering what a Kennathon is, I did a 3-hour live video, 2 weeks ago or so. But you're going to be aware of you running out of coffee at home. And the other thing you could not have is coffee filters. But if you are hooked on putting cream in the coffee, one thing I realized I would often forget at the store is buying more cream and running out of half and half or whatever flavor I was using at the time. And then I didn't feel I could properly enjoy my coffee at home because I didn't have the cream that I was hooked on. And that was very frustrating. The other reason, I guess you could say cost, but it's really not cost. I guess I don't mind that I'm not spending $6 a week buying cream. I guess that's not a bad thing. But something that I do consider significant is calories. And I talk a lot about that habits make the man over time. And if you do little small changes over time, make a huge difference. If I drink 6 cups of coffee a day at home. And if I'm pouring a splash of half and half into each one of those, I'm probably adding, 100 to 300 calories a day. And I don't know, somebody Google it and find out. But I know it'd be a real amount of calories every day. And if you're adding, say, 200 calories a day over a month, that's 6,000 calories. That's, 2 pounds of real weight. And I don't know. I drink too much coffee at home. So anyway, I'll drink cream in my coffee when I'm on the road, but at home I drink it black. Oh no, to alls, I'm not kidding you right now. I rarely kid. LW5, is it really your birthday? Is it really your birthday, LW5? I'd need to know more. LW5 just wants a shout out because it's their birthday. I need to know more about this LW5, I think. What's my claim to fame? What's my claim to fame? What is I think my charm is I have no claim to fame. I have no claim to fame. But I have the audacity to have a live show at 8 o'clock every morning on TikTok. And as if that's not obnoxious enough, I also have a show in the afternoon at 4:30 on YouTube where I have a huge audience watching me every day. Well, okay, Two Alls wants to know, why are they here? That's an interesting question, Two Alls. How would I know why you're here? Would be my answer. I can't tell you why you're here. It was bothering me. Tara Jacobs. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what his answer is. Why was he here? How is he asking me? Leave them going forward. Yeah. But anyway, it's all fun. Coffee with Ken, #1 morning show in Chicagoland. I like that. RJ. And it's funny, I used to work as a realtor at Keller Williams. And there's a guy that founded it named Gary Keller. And there was probably another guy named Williams, but I don't know what his name was. And he didn't go on to any fame and still has his name attached to Keller Williams. But anyway, the guy that founded it, his name was Gary Keller and some dude named Williams. Kind of like the third soprano What was his name? Who knows? But anyway, when he was just starting out, he would answer the phone when anyone called his business line, Keller Williams International. And I think it was like a two-man shop at the time. I don't know how many homes they'd sold at the time, and they were based out of Austin, Texas, and I don't think it ever sold a home past the borders of Austin. But he was kind of faking it till he made it, and just kind of crying out to the universe that he's going to go big someday, and he'd answer at Keller Williams International. And when RJ said I'm the number one morning talk show in Chicagoland, I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure I'm not in the top 1,000, probably. I mean, I don't know how many talk shows there are in Chicagoland in the morning. I mean, I'm not sure there are 1,000. But if there are 1,000, I am in the top 1,000. Ken International. Yeah, Greg Pitt's starting to understand what I'm talking about. Greg Pitt does. But anyway, let's have a little more coffee. Oh, what time is it? It's Sunday. That's so good. It's a pumpkin spice if I didn't say it. I was up early today. I'm always up early. So if you're always up at 5 a.m., and you get up at 5 a.m., can you still say you're always up early? I'm not totally sure. 3 Chains wants to know the best deli in Naperville. I do not know. I don't have any idea, to be honest with you. I can't even tell you a deli in Naperville. Start work at 5, off at 3. Yeah, Brian, that is a great shift. For those that are new, every time I see you, I feel like I'm cleaning my floors. I don't know why. I don't know what that means, Abby's dad. Happy second of fall. Brian, real quickly, back to Brian's work schedule. And I don't know what you do for a living, Brian. But for any new viewers, I was working at a super target. I was a realtor for 17 years. I left that at the beginning of the year for a variety of reasons. And I needed something to do. So I started working at Super Target in February, and my shift was from 7 till 3, which I found to be a great shift. You'd get off work at 3, you'd be home by 3:15, 3:30. If it was summertime, you could go golfing. If it was during the school year, you could still be home to see your kids when they come off the bus, or maybe even pick them up at school, or go to every event. And I think waking up a little earlier and getting to work a little earlier, for anybody that's got to do an 8-hour shift, you're a local semi-driver. Okay. Made a heck of a lot of sense for me and felt real good. And again, if you're starting work, Brian starts at 5 o'clock. That's even, obviously earlier. But even if you're starting work at 7 like I was, you're already 2 hours into your day. The math's not that hard. I probably don't need to run the numbers for you. You probably know what I'm saying. But you already have a good chunk of your day while most people are just checking in. And again, you get off early and feels good. The neighbor that I talked to yesterday just walked by again. Good morning, Nurse Ellen. Thank you for joining, Nurse Ellen. Do you follow my page, Nurse Ellen? You're from New York. Well, welcome from New York. I so appreciate you guys hopping on. We have a nice audience the last couple days. I left Super Target 2 weeks and 1 day ago. Oh, and someday. Sandy Shepard, thank you for sending the heart. And at that time, again, I was working at 7 o'clock for 3, 4, 5 days a week. And it really threw off my Coffee with Ken schedule. And I was just doing Coffee with Ken any chance I could. Now I'm doing it consistently at 8 every morning. I think we're seeing it in the audience that, I'm getting 52 viewers on average during the day. Good morning, Eric. Are you doing this full time? I sure am. I'll tell you what, when you say full time, you probably mean 40 hours a week. For anyone that knows anything about starting a small business or a small, anything, you end up putting a crazy amount of time. And again, I was a realtor for 17 years, and there were so many hours you'd work behind the scene that weren't directly involved in buying or selling a client's home, just marketing and what have you. And I put so much time into that. Thank you, Eric. Good morning, Sandra Lynn. You had to make your coffee before saying hello. Well, Sandra Lynn, you know I will appreciate your priority list. Coffee before Ken. Look, coffee before Ken. It makes sense. Am I making bank yet? I'm making a very small amount of bank. If we describe bank as money, I'm definitely making bank. If we describe making bank as making a lot of money, I'm not quite making bank yet. What did you like more, realtor or stockbroker? I almost hated stockbroker. I hated it, but I made a lot of money, if that makes sense. It was stressful, it was cold calling, it was unpleasant, but it was lucrative as heck. Realtor was running your own business, working as you please, name on card. But I'll tell you what, I never felt good telling it. And I went to a cross-country meet the other night for my daughter Erin, and I was talking to 3 people, and they were all school teachers, and they asked me what I did. And I talked about this the other day. I hemmed and hawed, and I said, well, I have a talk show, and started talking about it. And it felt good, but it was a little awkward because it was the first time I did it in public. Told an individual that that's what I do. But telling people I was a realtor for 17 years, it was just, I don't know. I was at a cross-country meet, and if I was a realtor, in some small way, I would have had to been, hey, if you ever need to, when you're looking to buy or sell, think of me. Or I'm going to a Cub Scout meeting today from 10 to 2. And I'll be honest, during my career as a realtor, I would have looked at that as an opportunity to meet a bunch of people and network, and maybe one day one of them's going to buy and sell a house. And I know that's part of sales, and I know that's part of the process, but I could never fully remove the realtor hat from my head. And I didn't like that feeling. It didn't matter if I was at the coffee shop or at church or at a parent-teacher meeting. I was Ken the Realtor. And Ken the Realtor, I don't know, had to have his sales hat on just a bit, even though he didn't want to be that. And people always had a little bit of, barrier up. And I'm good at tearing down boundaries. I'm almost too good at it. And giving them a big hug whether they like it or not, because that's the type of guy I am. Now you Ken the Influencer. Good for you. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Not Original. I'll tell you what made me super proud. My stepdaughter went to a birthday party yesterday. And she's 12. And I'd say she's probably one of the cool kids in school because she's smart and sweet and pretty and athletic and outgoing. So I bet she's one of the cool kids. And she was coming down and getting ready to go to the party. And her mom asked her, are you wearing that to the party? Kind of joking. And she had on one of our new hoodies, one of the new white Coffee with Ken hoodies. It's got a little Coffee with Ken logo right there and a big Coffee with Ken logo on the back. She goes, yeah. And I'd never been so proud. We butt heads from time to time. We're probably both strong-willed people, but I wanted to give her a big hug, crying, going, oh, I love you. Thank you for wearing my Coffee with Ken jersey to your party. I'll have to check the sales. See if I sold like 15 pink Coffee with Ken hoodies. Just gave my business to another educator in July. Was to write books, now retired mostly. Buck Lake followed the creator. Thank you so much. And Not Original, thank you for cheering me on and saying your encouraging words. And Lacey, thank you for following the creator. I so appreciate you guys for doing that. Again, I haven't figured it all out yet, and there's a lot of work to be done, and there's a lot of business, and there's bills to be paid. And we haven't, hammered out all the details. But this is what I enjoy doing. And I kind of think the world provides in terms of the value you provide. And I think I did fairly okay as a realtor, but I think this offers more value to the world than anything I ever did in real estate. And um, I don't know. I just got to build my audience, and that's what I'm enjoying doing. And I enjoy telling people I have a talk show that's called Coffee with Ken, and I never enjoyed telling people I was a realtor. I just didn't. What do I think of the 40 to 60-year-old men on street corners begging for money? I don't have a ton of thoughts about them. I mean, I feel it's unfortunate that anyone has to do that, and hopefully they gather a lot of money, and I don't know. It's unfortunate that anybody has to do it. I'll tell you what. I look at people from a different perspective that are homeless or need money, because I've been through some struggles of my own over the last, at various times in my life, but certainly over the last couple of years. Bad stuff can happen to you. And I would advise anybody out there, don't look down on the guy that's asking for something in a street corner, because life can turn on you. Bad things can happen. You can lose a job. You can get in an accident. You can go through a divorce. And once comfortable financial position can, get less comfortable in a hurry. I can promise you that. So I certainly probably have a different perspective than I used to. Good morning, Amy Jo McLaughlin. I love the number of O's you use. Room for more educators in childbirth. Hey, let me tell you, I don't know how Nurse Ellen and Everlasting Bloom are chatting about childbirth, but I'll tell you what, Everlasting Bloom knows a thing or two about childbirth. Whoops, see, she just said she had 2 in diapers. Yeah, no, medical bills are crazy. All sorts of things can get you. And I guess this would be my thought about the guys asking for money on street corners. I'm learning not to judge. I'm learning not to judge, or I'm trying to be more understanding, and I still judge. And I don't know. Send me a money gun. That is so fun. I've never even seen that. Thank you for the rose, Everlasting Bloom. How appropriate that Everlasting Bloom would send a rose. Disability, again, losing a job. I'll tell you what, divorce can come up and bite you in the butt. It's taking a chunk out of each cheek of mine, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, I think the biggest lesson would be try not to judge other people, and whether people are needing money or going through a hard time with relationships or addicted to alcohol or drugs. We're all struggling with something. Hey, IDK is sending me a bunch of ice cream cones. Thank you so much. What's my perfect ice cream cone? Well, definitely, without a doubt, it would have a sugar cone. And it would actually not a sugar cone, because a sugar cone is kind of one of those little weeny, thin cones. I would want the bigger, the waffle cone. That's what I mean. A waffle cone is like a huge sugar cone. Am I not right? Yeah, okay, a waffle cone. And right now, for the last few years, I think some sort of cherry, New York cherry, or Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia has been my favorite ice cream by far. And the other day, I bought my wife and I each a tub of Cherry Garcia because it was on sale at Mariano's. It was like $3.99. I should have bought like 10 of them. It was great value. I ate it all in one sitting. Oh, yes, I did. But anyway, I picked, they were on a Cherry Garcia, so I thought I'd be cool and pick 2 flavors that were appealing to my wife. And I did, and I let her get the pick. And I had some sort of brownie something. And don't get me wrong, it was delicious, but it wasn't a Cherry Garcia. So I'd say my very perfect one, I'd go down to, right now, if I was to go anywhere, I'd be downtown Naperville. I would go to Kilwin's. I would get a waffle cone, and I would get whatever their New York cherry is. I think they call it like a Traverse City cherry, and it's delicious. It's delicious. It's terrible to see kids struggling. Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of... Hey, Brian Sherman, thank you so much for joining. Brian Sherman, are you the guy I went to high school with? I got a guy I went to high school with named Brian Sherman. You got to try Michigan cherry coffee. I'm a little hesitant, RJ, A, to try any of your food recommendations because you got weird tastes. But secondly, when you mention cherry-flavored coffee, I think about, like, beers that have weird flavors, like fruit flavors in them. And I never liked a beer that had, like, cherry or any other flavor that they might have in it. And I don't know if it's the same thing. It probably has peanut butter and pickles. Everlasting Bloom has you read, RJ. Well, you're right. I did like Morning Joe. It's the pot I started off the day with today. When I woke up at 5 o'clock, RJ bought me a bag of Morning Joe coffee, which is Starbucks, a nice dark roast. I drink a lot of flavored coffees at home and decided to warm up my taste buds with some Morning Joe coffee. Well, there's peanut butter and pickles. But anyway, it's 8:37 my time. In an hour and 23 minutes, Elaine is my spirit human. Oh, Kimmy, yeah, you commented on my video about Elaine the other day. She's your spirit human? I get so flippant with my coffee when I'm outside drinking, doing my coffee show. Normally, I'm a waste not, want not, and I would save this coffee. And if I was inside, I would have walked on over to my microwave, set it for 20 seconds or so, and warmed it right up and chugged it right down. But I don't have the luxury of a microwave right now because I'm sitting outside. And I have the luxury of this fine pot, which, can be bought on the link on my bio. I recommend it for any coffee lover in your life. I'm going to go pocket knife shopping. This is my stepson's pocket knife, who left it outside last night. Let me tell you, if he's awake right now, he's running around the house in a panic because we have his very first Cub Scout meeting today at 10 o'clock. And I bet you, if he's awake, he's panicking right now, wondering where his pocket knife is. Hello, Jamia Hampton. I appreciate you for joining. He's asleep in my bed. Well, okay. If he wakes up and is in a cold sweat going, wait a minute, I can't find my pocket knife. What did I do? I've got my very first Cub Scout meeting. Look how he, by the way, has nail clippers. We don't know what he's going to be. He's either going to be a park ranger someday or a mani-pedi specialist. Ken, very impressive. Pouring your coffee makes for a great show. Kudos on that move. Thank you, Jimmy. I think it does. I didn't know you were married, Ken. Well, TD, it's really come and go with me. 1 week you might check in. I might be betrothed. That's a funny word. Betrothed. The next week you might come with me. I might be... I don't know what I'll be doing. I don't know. It's very confusing. Is Shrink Wrap leaving? Didn't know you were married. Luis, well, again, Luis, some weeks I'm married, some weeks not so much. We're just trying our best. And we have 2 beautiful kids, and I don't want to go into it now. But we love our kids to death, and I know the best chance for these kids to have their best lives is in a loving household with their mom and dad there loving on them, and we want to give our kids the best chance possible, and I'm going to do everything we can to give our kids their best chance possible. So that's what we're trying to do. Thank you so much, Shannon. I appreciate you. Windy City dude. I am from Illinois. Thank you for asking. I bet you are with a name like Windy City. I'll bet you most viewers, I'll bet you almost all the viewers, I'll bet maybe even Windy City Dude thinks Chicago is called the Windy City because of the wind. I'm almost 100% positive it was taken from a reporter that was talking about the political climate and how it had something to do with the politicians in Chicago. It was something to do with the politicians, like they were bags of wind or something like that. And that's why it became the Windy City. Yeah, it was the politicians. Okay, I thought so. But it's not. Do I like lukewarm coffee that has been sitting? Well, I'll promise you, Jimmy, I do appreciate the questions, but lukewarm anything is kind of not the best. I mean, lukewarm pudding's good. But other than that, lukewarm's not what you want, anything. And I like to use the word tepid because tepid drives some of my fans wild. Gets their undergarments in a bunch, if you know what I mean. All Illinoisans should have an escape plan. Yeah, I mean, I don't totally disagree. I always thought I'd be a realtor forever, and I was going to live in Illinois forever. And I'll tell you what, I don't know, I'll show you where I'm at right now. I'll kind of give you a back scan. I think we underestimate the beauty that is all around us. And my wife and I were laying, it's kind of funny, we were laying out in our yard last night. We had a fire. Our stepson, who left his knife, we had a fire, made some s'mores, and we had a carpet out, and we were listening to the crickets, and we were looking at the stars. I'm going to throw her under the bus a little bit because she's thrown me under the bus before, you know what I mean? But anyway, she was going, I'd love to be able to walk out my backyard and, be in a forest. And I'm looking around going, well, maybe you're taking something for granted. And it's easy. It's easy to do. So a lot of times we take the beauty that is all around us for granted. And we were laying out. The temperature was beautiful. We had a campfire, 10 feet from us. My stepson was making s'mores. And we were on a blanket again. The stars were out. The crickets were chirping. There were trees all around us. It was a perfect night. It's not a whole forest, said Everlasting Bloom. Why settle? Well, the answer to that's obvious. I think your expectations cause your level of happiness in life. And if you need a whole forest to be happy, you're never going to be happy. Because even in a whole forest, you'll wonder why the humidity was such, or the temperature was such, or the mosquitoes were biting, or the crickets weren't chirping, or you couldn't see the stars through the trees. And that's why settle. Yeah. What part of Illinois am I from? Madonna? The Material Girl? Can I call you the Material Girl? If I call you the Material Girl, will you follow my page? Look at me, begging for subscribers. That's what I do now. As a full-time, I guess I'm an influencer, somebody said. But if I'm going to be an influencer, don't I have to influence somebody to do something? Thank you so much for sharing the live, TD. I appreciate that. I am from Naperville, Illinois, which is a town of 149,504 people. Okay, well, thank you. Just west of Chicago, about 35 miles west of Chicago. Not an influencer. That's not what I do. Good point. North Carolina here. Thank you, Sandra, for joining. This is so fun. But alas, it's 8:45. And in 1 hour, I have to wake a sleepy boy who's sleeping in bed. I was out in that area yesterday in Lisle. Yeah, I lived in Lisle in Four Lakes for a bunch of years, and I lived in a townhome in Lisle as well. I got to wake him, and we got to get some breakfast. We got to get dressed because I probably don't want to wear gray, very revealing sweatpants, you know what I mean, to our first Boy Scout camp. Reminds me of a joke I was talking about this morning. Hey, Jamia, thank you so much for following the creator. And everyone, it's true, the title most people use for social media star. What do most people use for social media star? Going to Lyle today, having lunch at the Bavarian Lodge, or dinner at the Bavarian Lodge. That's cool. Bavarian Lodge is kind of a neat little place. But anyway, so I need to wrap this up. But it's Sunday morning, and it's a beautiful day. And a neighbor just walked by. I gave him a hearty wave. I don't know if you saw it. I should have given him a parade wave, but no, I went like this. And yeah, no, it's Sunday morning, and I'm excited about my day. Hey, Nurse Ellen, have a great day at church. I'm not going to be, I usually go to church at 10:45. Instead, I'm doing Boy Scout camp. And I think if our minds are open, God is all around us. And you can find God in the trees or in the sunrise or at Boy Scout camp. And it's good to go to church, and I do make a habit, excuse me, of going to church on most Sundays. But I think you can find faith and hope and religion and spirituality and goodness wherever you are. And today I'm not going to go to an official church with its walls and its pastor, but I'm going to be at a Boy Scout camp with my stepson, lighting fires and, I don't know, tying knots and do whatever we do at a Cub Scout camp. It's been a long time. And I think that's every bit as spiritual and as enhancing as going to an official church. And I'm looking forward to that. Nurse Ellen's great-grandson, or your grandson, is 17 and in Scouts. Again, Nurse Ellen, my stepson's just 9, so it's going to be Cub Scouts, but I called it Boy Scouts. I was both, and I'm looking forward to telling him, making fun of him, because he's got to pass his life safety, or his knife safety, before he gets to use this. And I was a Weeblo. Yeah, I was a Weeblo as well. And he will be if he stays in it next year. He'll be a Weeblo, and there's 2 years of Weeblos, and then you go into Boy Scouts. And I'll tell you what, I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned in scouting. And our little guy is an outdoorsman, and again, has a pocket knife that his dad bought him, and likes fishing and talks about hunting and shooting and loves being outside and walks down the creek we have next to us and is always making spears and doing fun little things. Sometimes it annoys his mama. The spears do. She's a mama. She worries about how sharp they are. I'm proud of how sharp. It's a conflict in our home. It's a conflict in our home. I'm super proud of how sharp he makes the spears. And his mama's not so thrilled with the capability of impaling. He does make real weapons. If you're going to make weapons, you might as well make them real. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. And I want to thank you guys for joining today. I so appreciate you hopping on with me and sharing part of your Sunday, sharing a little coffee with me, sharing a little bit about your day. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining. Hopefully you've enjoyed this morning. I go live at 8 o'clock every morning. I also go live on YouTube at 4:30, and for a little shorter show and reflect. So if you don't follow me on YouTube, please do. I so appreciate you all for joining. Hope you're having a great weekend. Thank you, TD. Hope you're having a great weekend. I hope you got a great night's sleep last night. Thank you, Storm. Thank you so much for joining. And I don't know, I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.